This is episode 4. I'm your host, Sam Rakasima. Today I'm joined with my friend, businessman Carlos, and we're going to talk to you about how to go from multi-millions to billions. Carlos, thank you for joining me, brother.
Thank you for having me,
Absolutely,
Sam.
brother.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
brother.
Yes, yes. So today's episode, we're going to talk about going from multi-millions to billions. And I think you're a great person to have on this because,
Why do you think I'm a great person to have him?
well, because I think when you're talking about even a millionaire, we're really talking about his mindset, right? And
How about if I'm lying? How about if I don't even have a dollar to my name?
you have an idea?
Ooh! See, wealth, a lot of people think it's in the pocket.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that scenario.
Yes.
Wealth is in the mind. See, one thing about me, I can close the distance. Because everything we do is in we.
Right.
We can close the distance between an idea and money because we operate through the imagination. Then we communicate. Then we unify, and then other people would implement. Well, giving you the mic.
Yes, yes. So, with that being said, what type of mindset? Well, I guess we should start with the millionaire mindset, right?
Okay.
Because you got to have that foundation first before you get to billions. So, can you tell me about what you think or what you believe the type of mindset you have to have in order to achieve millionaire status?
Okay, first of all, what separates the best from the rest is mindset. Number one. To me, the mind is literally your number one asset. See, the mind was given to God, given to us from God for free.
Yes.
Most people, they don't invest on it because they don't see anything that was given to the man or woman for free. They don't see the value on it, right? I saw the value of investing into the mind because the best investment I ever made has been on myself, right? So I could be able to think better, right? Because, most people they were trained to be workers, not thinkers. So when you're able to think, right, you're able to look at the world, look at life in the business level or personal from a different perspective, from an ego perspective, from a drone perspective, from outside the box, right? So talking about to get from 0 to 1 million, you got to understand that it's all numbers,
Okay.
right? Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe it can achieve. First of all, you got to think big. You cannot listen to people who tell you cannot be done. Because people, they interpret the world based on their level of understanding, right? And God will never give you a vision, an idea, or give you an opportunity looking at your bank account. He looks at your faith. You get me?
Yes.
You don't got to have all the resources. All the resources are already out there, right? You can leverage other people, if it makes sense. Friends, family, people in general, strangers. Because strangers in reality are the people that will make you rich, right?
Absolutely.
So to go from 0 to 1 million, you got to understand the numbers. Numbers are infinite. But you cannot hit a target you can't see. So first of all, you got to write down 1 million. Think in numbers first.
Okay.
Man lie, woman lie, numbers don't lie. So anything I've done, I start with the numbers. Forget about the product, the idea, the service that you want to basically start. You first say, okay, I want $1 million. You got to make that decision. That's what you want, right? You want to just, because it's not even the $1 million, the person that you're going to become, the journey. You got me, the process. It's going to build your character because it's going to help you, think outside the box, like I said, right? So the minute you set yourself a target to hit $1 million, you write it down. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You got to think on papers, right? Then you say, okay, what's easier? To work for $1 million or to borrow $1 million?
To borrow.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%.
So why are literally 99.9% of people working?
They don't understand that, or they don't think that they have the resources to do that.
Why?
Because they didn't learn it, or they didn't seek it, or
what you don't know is keeping you poor. So
Absolutely.
Ignorance is the most expensive thing.
Yes.
So the problem is not the $1 million. The problem is that you cannot see ways on how to get to that target, right? So when you think on paper and you write that $1 million down on paper and you really believe it, because you got to think it, right? Think big, but you got to dream big, if it makes sense. Also, then if that's your main goal, you break it down. You say, okay, I want $1 million. It's easier to borrow or to work for it. First of all, it's easier to borrow it, right? Because if you got to work to save, to invest, it's going to take you time,
So much time,
right? Now, that main goal, you got to have a deadline. If you're going to borrow it, you could literally say, I want to borrow it yesterday. that's going to give you a sense of urgency. It's how bad do you want it? You got to want it as bad as you want to what? Breathe.
Yes.
Right? Obviously, you want to do it legally. Right? Because you don't want to get in trouble with the law. Right? You don't want to steal it. Yeah. You don't want to do anything,
you want to keep your freedom.
You want to keep your freedom, right? So going from $0 to $1 million, once again, it's numbers. Now you say, okay, I could borrow it. So that means I could borrow it from one person. If you could borrow, I mean, you got to surround yourself around people that have over $10 million. It'll be easier to get 1 million.
Right.
But if you need it from 4 people, that's 250, 250, 250, 250.
Yes.
You could literally come up with 4 business ideas straight up, and you could borrow on those business ideas, and that's $1 million, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's when you're here being creative, right? Because now you could literally become an investor. So you have an investment company. Now you could also have your podcast. That's another opportunity, another business, because you're turning ideas into opportunities, visions, right? Into businesses, right? Then you could say, let me turn this Sam the Investor as a business as well, like your own identity,
brand,
right? Your brand, right? Your personal brand, right? And then you could say, I love basketball. Let me just, prepare for a basketball court. Let me do for a basketball project.
Right.
So I could get the funding, right? Right. Remember, when you borrow, you got to pay interest on that.
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't care about the interest, because interest, you can write it off, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. But going back, if you want the $1 million, you got to understand that you could either borrow it or you could actually get it from customers too also.
Yeah.
You could sell $3,333 product, if it makes sense. One of those per day, high ticket or coaching offer, whatever.
Yes.
You got me? Just one customer per day, but you need one every single day. So $3,333 a day, 0.33 times 365 days, that's $1 million. That's $1 million. So you got to be good in math. Yeah. Everything lands in math. Man lie, woman lie, numbers don't lie. To get to $1 billion, the same sequence.
Yeah.
You get me? Well, I tell people, get to the first 10,000, then 10,000 to 100,000. 100,000 to $1 million is easier, right? And then when you're in the millions, it's even easier, bro. That's why the richer get richer. The people that are rich and they don't, go to become wealthy is because they stop developing themselves. They stop growing. You get me? They stop basically having that hunger.
Yeah.
It makes sense?
Yeah, it does. Because they get satisfied with where they're at and they kind of just stop growing. And then now their net worth also stops growing.
You got to take the mic away from me, because I could literally talk on this topic for days, for years.
Or, we got 30 minutes. So.
But I'm just saying, you got me?
Yes,
not because the thing, it was basically from multimillionaire
to billionaire. So we started on first the millionaire mindset and what actions and things or mindset you need to have to get to the million. So once you have that millionaire mindset and you have these ideas, because like you said, it's the idea that's creating the money, right? And you come up with these ideas like even, for example, let's talk about the number one company right now, which is actually NVIDIA, right? I believe that guy, he started it 20, 30 years ago. Now it's $3.5 trillion, right? That was an idea that he created, borrowed the money like everyone else does to create the business. And then now it's overtaken Apple as the number one company.
They raise capital and then they turn those companies public.
Yes.
Because they need,
investors. Right. So, and I guess that's, again, the guy who created it, he's a billionaire, right? He doesn't own 100% of the company anymore. He probably at one point did when he started it, but he gave up equity in order to get the funding he needed to make the company grow and build it and get the funds he needed to build it out and actually grow the business. So now, let's talk about how do you go from millions to billions. What do you think is a good strategy or the way that people can go from millionaire to billionaire?
Okay, look at it like this. First of all, you got to have your systems and process in place. You got to have the right people, because without people, you ain't going nowhere. So what are the right people? You need leaders. No, just not leaders. You need leaders that create leaders that create leaders. You need people that are in control, but they also delegate and outsource. If it makes sense.
Yeah.
Meaning, because you don't want to have control of everything. You don't want to be the one person making all the decisions for your company. So you got to have people that are going to make decisions, on the overall vision that is going to be impactful on the whole organization in order to take it from, $10 million to $100 million. And then from $100 million to $1 billion, if it makes sense. Because if you know how to take something, I always say one thing, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? If you have the habits, right, to become a millionaire, the habits to become a multimillionaire, they're the same. They just basically require you to get yourself out of the box where you're at and think a little more outside the box. Think in terms of getting the drone more out.
Right.
You got me? Like, look at it like the drone getting out of the world. So now you say, okay, there's 8 billion people in the world. How can I solve a problem that I can impact, 8 billion people? Even if it doesn't impact 8 billion people, even if you do the 80-20 rule, let's say there's 10 billion people and you're able to impact 2 billions, bro, you solved a major problem. You want me to tell you what problem we're solving right now in this organization? La mente.
Into the mind, yeah.
La mente, the mind. Yeah. Literally, to me, that's the biggest problem in the world. Yeah. That's why we go by the 5 pillars. Spiritualmente, spiritually. We get ideas from the Creator, God. When we have a strong connection with God, the Creator,
ideas will come.
Infinite intelligence.
Yes.
You got it. All the ideas that came from God. Makes sense or no?
Yeah,
what separates the best from the rest is mindset. So if you develop your mindset, the way you're going to notice that the way an employee thinks is very different from the way a business owner thinks. Employees think in terms of instant gratification, paycheck. Scarcity mindset, fear zone, comfort zone. You got me? Yeah. Security, business, risk.
Yeah.
You got me? They would rather buy people's time. They don't like being told what to do. You got me? They go the extra mile. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's a different way of approaching things. Then communication. Remember, with day trade attention. If you're a strong communicator, you're able to communicate your ideas. So imagine we go on stage and around a group of investors and you pitch whatever idea, invention you have. You got me? You're going to be able, if you're a good convincer, if you're able to, pitch your idea the right way and people believe in you because you believe in yourself,
right,
they'll invest in you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got to get in the right rooms, right? But everything starts with the imagination. People perish because of lack of vision. Proverbs 29:18. But also people perish because of lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. So what we don't know is keeping us poor. You're reading the book Raising Capital.
Yes.
Right? Just that book right there. If your mind doesn't open in the billions of dollars, my name is Don Carlos. Just one book, $30, $40 could literally put it like this. Look at this book, $1 Trillion Coach.
Yeah.
You got Mentor to Millions. You got me? Look at this book, $1 Million Habits. Why are some people more successful than others? And you're going to notice that the people that are successful in one area, they could apply the same ingredients in other areas.
Yes.
You got me? But people that are unsuccessful, they're normally in victim mentality. They don't believe, like these conversations that me and you are having, they'll look at it like we're lying. Or how can he do that? You got me? Bro, your limitations or sis that you have within you, they're not going to limit me. You got me? I've been able to do extraordinary things in my life, not just for myself, but for others. So billionaire mindset, it requires you to think in terms of others, not in terms of yourself.
Right.
You got me?
Yes.
Employees think in terms of themselves. I need money to pay my bills. You got me? Business owners, they think in terms, I need, I need enough money so the people could work. You got me? They could feed their family, make a living. You got me?
Yeah.
But also, I'm going to make from their efforts because I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my efforts, right? But now in the next level, I'd rather have 1% of 100 businesses than 100% of one business.
Right.
Make sense? So you cannot be afraid to pitch at trying to buy businesses that are worth even $1 billion.
Right.
Because who told you the money got to come from your pocket?
Exactly.
We could raise the money.
That's what BlackRock does, right? They have $10 trillion in under management, right? They own, I think, 90% of the companies that are in the S&P 500. So and guess what? Like you said, they're borrowing.
They're borrowing.
They're using other people's money to buy those assets.
Yes.
And then that's how they raise all those assets under management under $10 trillion. So, your point is definitely taken. And I think also, I think last week or last episode that we did, I was talking about funding for a business, right? And I asked, I was like, oh, let me do funding for 100,000. And you said, why do 100,000? Do 1,000,000, right? And so I think it's the mindset of thinking bigger. The bigger that you think, that's your only limitation is what your beliefs are.
Yes.
So the mindset is really important. So that's the part I really want to touch on. Like, even for me, I think sometimes I think too small, right? So that's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm really trying to open up my horizons and think bigger, and also speak with people who also think bigger, and speak with people from different industries to get their ideas and see how their thoughts and beliefs are. And then that way I can kind of hold my own beliefs and kind of make it my own. But one thing I'm definitely taking away is just thinking bigger.
I'll
right?
tell you straight up, and I'll tell your audience. And I don't like, man lie, woman lie, numbers don't lie. And what we got going on, over $10 billion company valuation.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I see it.
You get me? And I'll show you certain things, you get me? That man lie, woman lie, numbers don't lie. I'm a numbers guy. You get me? And remember, not everybody's trying to solve the mind problem.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
We understand everybody wants the dream home, the dream car, but everything starts with the dream business. You get me? I was raised in a business. You get me? I look at business as spiritual. To me, business is not the money. Money is a byproduct of value creation.
Right.
We get paid in direct proportion to the difficulties of the problems we know how to solve. I'm all about, give me the hardest problem there is, because I'm not going to solve easy things. I have a problem. You want to know what's my problem?
You like problems.
I love problems, but I don't like small problems.
Right.
The bigger the problem, the better.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am. You got me? Because I like thinking outside the box. I like everything I do is just, if everybody go that way, I go this way. It's just I'm wired just to be, doing things in a different way. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just the way I look at the world, if it makes sense. And it fulfills me. It fulfills me, to go against the grain and to think outside the box. You got me? If everybody doing it, I'm not doing it.
Okay, so I think now that we've kind of come to an agreement that it's mindset.
Innovation.
And we're also trying to solve the problem, which is the mind, right? Mentality.
Investing into people.
So let's give the people at home something that they could actually walk away with.
Okay.
You've read a lot of books, right? So what would be 3 books that you would recommend that you think would be best with getting the right mentality so somebody can first make multi-millions and then they can build upon that, obviously, to make billions?
Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to tell the world one thing. It doesn't matter how many books you read.
Okay.
It's what you do with the knowledge and apply what you read. And straight up, I failed forward. Just like basketball, I learned in the game. You get me? I'm the type of person, I don't go and sit down, watch LeBron play. I went and played the game inside the court with sharks, if it makes sense. Yeah. That's how I approach everything. But leaders are readers. The more you learn, the more you earn. Yeah. So I'll be able to tell you, not 3 books. I could literally sit down here and tell you 100 books.
So I was going to say, what are your 3 favorites then?
The 3 books, first of all, I could literally, this is how you could tell the difference between, a man or a woman that took the time to invest into themselves and now is willing to pay it forward, willing to share his blessing with others, right? I could literally look at a man and pick up their brain literally in 2 seconds, right? It all depends who. Well, the average Joe Smoke, with all due respect to people, whoever haven't read the cash flow quadrant, you will never understand how money works, how the economy works, and how cash flow. Because cash flow is the number one word that will literally impact you when it comes to business. Business without money coming in, money coming out is nothing. Cash flow is the blood to the business.
Yes.
Everything is cash flow. Right? So the cash flow quadrant, it explains Robert Kiyosaki, where people stand at. Employed, time is money. Time is not money. Self-employed, you own a job. Business owner, with money, you can buy people's time. Right? That's where wealth starts.
Right.
That's where freedom starts. In the right side of the quadrant. In the left side of the quadrant, security. Right. Anybody in the left side of the quadrant, sorry. With all due respect, I do respect you, but those are normally chickens. I like speaking with eagles. Business, investor, up. And there's levels to investor and levels in business, right? Because a lot of the business owner, the business owns them.
Right.
They don't own the business. They work in the business, not on the business. So, investor, with money, you make money. So, if you're here working for money, giving a third of your day, 8 hours of your day, why not understand what level in the cash flow quadrant are you in that job?
Right.
JOB, just over broke. That's very important, right?
Right.
But not just in that job, also in the economy overall, right? Because that business owner, what they don't know is that it's being backed up by banks, by other suppliers that get credit from banks, by other investors that put their money to work.
Yeah.
You got me? So you got to understand that for you to basically achieve financial freedom, you got to work on your mindset so you could escape that employee mindset, to get it to that business mindset, to get into that investor mindset, to get into now the next level mindset is with infinite intelligence, that spiritual mindset.
Yes.
If it makes sense. Because that's where you get the ideas, right?
And the ideas
I have a book there. It's called $1 billion apps, to get for $1 billion apps.
$1 billion apps, okay.
Yeah. We could even do an app and literally raise capital, right? Tech, because you like tech.
Yeah.
But for the average Joe Smoke, I said the cash flow quadrant. Another book from that same author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
Why? There's a poor dad, there's a rich dad. One says, I can't afford it. The other one says, how can I afford it?
Two different mindsets.
The one that says, how can I afford it? His mind is on growth mode. His mind is outside the box. I can't, fear zone, comfort zone. Like literally, when you say I can't, you literally shut down. Your brain shuts down. Yeah. But if you say, how can I? You start now getting ideas, and the universe starts opening up and showing up the law of attraction. You got me? Now you attract the investors. Now you attract the, different stuff to make that a reality. Right? I've never said I can't afford something. I buy everything and pay for everything with an offer. I could buy everything. Everything I buy, if I got to use my money, I'm not buying it. I use OPM for everything. Straight up. That's nothing bad. You got me? Educate yourself, bro, sis. So that's the second book I also recommend. Those are the basic foundational book, right? For the person that has the basic traditional, at least, education, right? Because if you don't know how to read, bro, come on, bro. You know what I mean?
Much. Yes, absolutely.
A third book that I recommend people that can literally transform your life is this book you have here, $1 Million Habits by Brian Tracy, right? Why? Simple. Why some people are more successful than others. Listen to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. 30 day, it's a 30-minute audio. But listen 30 for 30. And I'll promise you, that's going to impact you so much. People don't even use 2% of their brain power. Imagine if you were literally use more brain power. John D. Rockefeller, he once said, he who works all day has no time to make money. But I don't blame people. It's because they're working all day. If you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. But they're too busy working hard on a job. That's why they got to be making a living.
Yes.
Right? Instead of investing that time into a job that will replace you, invest that time or do it part-time.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or make your 9 to 5, turn that into a business, and now go the extra mile from 5 to 9, get a job.
Yeah.
Why are you here putting somebody else's dream before your dream?
Yeah.
Make sense or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, those are 3 books. And I picked this one out because you picked that one out.
Yes.
If it makes sense. But that book is going to impact them because everything starts with your habits.
Right.
You got me? But this book right now, I could open it, any page, and it could literally give you, something. Develop the habits of wealthy people. Regarding your growing bank account, millionaires develop a series of other habits to ensure that they don't lose money and that their money grows steadily over time. One of the best habits you can develop is the habit of getting good financial advice before you do anything with your growing account. Ask around and find a financial advisor who has already become financially successful by investing her personal money in the areas that she or he recommends to you. Your ability to choose excellent financial advisors can be the critical factor in making good investment decisions. In another word, that's what I tell people. Get yourself a coach, develop your character. You will never be free till you become a business owner. Cash flow, the foundation of money is credit, leverage OPM, right? And that's how you build collateral.
Yes.
So why, instead of the financial advisor, it's like your coach, your mentor.
Yes.
Find yourself a person that has what you want. that has gotten what you want, that is in the game that you want. You know what I mean? So just like the book has said, your ability to pick out your mentor, coach, your financial advisor plays a big role.
Yes.
Big role.
Because they can either help you or hurt you.
Help you or hurt you.
Yeah.
You got me? So for my story, just put it in perspective. I come from a, I don't want to call them a rich family, from a business family, but I also come from a poor family, right? From my mother's side, poor, my father's side, business, right? So I saw my poor family's mindset, right? From my mother's side, and I saw my father's family's mindset, even though my father's low-key poor mentally. My father's a millionaire in money. He doesn't even know that. He works in Lowe's, right? But he has real estate. But my father believes in having everything paid off cash, right? So he believes in, the Social Security, he believes in these things, having everything paid off, retiring at an X age.
Right.
I'm not gonna, teach a no dog, no tricks. I let him rock and roll. You got me? But my father has bad habits as daily drinker.
Yeah.
So it's better for him to stay at Lowe's, 9 to 5. He drinks less because, the next day he got to go what? To his 9 to 5.
Yes.
Right?
Got it.
But in my case, right, the best, I will never give anybody advices. But if there's one advice I gave myself, tell me who you're with, and I'm going to tell you who you are and where you're heading. In another word, that applies to everything in life. In business, tell me who's your partner, or who you're partnering up with, or who you're going to do business with, or who basically who's the vision-driven leader. You got me? Who you're aligned, where you're heading, and I'm going to tell you where you're going to head.
Absolutely.
Make sense?
It does. Yes.
Right or wrong?
It makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I know I've never done it for the money, Sam.
Right.
Ever. Money's simply a number. What doesn't get measured doesn't get improved, right? It's like the scoreboard in basketball, right? Like basketball, I don't play to win.
Right.
I play to enjoy the journey, have fun. Even when I lose, I won.
Right.
How I look at life.
Yes.
It's all perspective. Obviously, if there's people that got next, I do want to win.
Right.
Yes. Don't get me wrong, right? That's something else. So in business, obviously, who doesn't want to win?
Exactly.
But one thing I tell people, you got to fail forward in everything in life. You got me? So in my case, simple, borrow to invest. Okay. Borrow to invest.
Yes.
Right? Because as a visionary, if God gave you the idea, I'm going to put it in perspective. If you got the idea, the vision, and you bring me a deal right now, and let's say you don't have the money, but I do have the money. But who had the idea? The vision.
I got the idea.
You created the opportunity, right? Just because you brought the idea and presented to me, 100, right?
Yeah.
Automatically, I cannot take 100%.
Right.
If you're smart, you get equity.
Right.
But a realtor that is not smart, they'll be like, just give me a commission.
Right.
Bro, I want equity. I don't want no commission.
Right.
Right? We could do this deal together. You come in as, as an investor.
Right.
Right? I brought the idea. This is how much we can make. This is what you'll make on your money. You got to think in terms of him.
ROI,
protect him.
What's your capital? What's your return on capital?
Return on ROI, or return on investment. Yeah. Right? But also return on intention. Yes. You got me? How impactful is it going to be? Right. Not just for you, but to the world, for something that's positive.
All right. Right? All right. Yeah. So it is about time for us to wrap it up. Before we do finish, I did want to kind of, again, just congratulate you on your 100 episodes of the CMR
thank you.
Network. I think it leads to the consistency, and a lot of those habits that we people are talking about are just being consistent and falling forward and just really staying with it every day. So again, that's very commendable, and I wanted to again congratulate you, and I'm sure you're going to do 100 more
Thanks
episodes.
To the team. Thanks.
Shout out
thanks
to
to everybody.
Yes, yes.
And now I'm going to challenge you for your 100 episode, also Capital Games Cast as well. But also I'm going to challenge you, obviously, on your road to the billions as well, here in your same channel. And I'm going to tell you, simple. You need to help 100 people with their dreams. Even if you get 1% of their dream, it's better to have 1% of 100 people's dream than 100% of your dream.
Challenge accepted.
Right?
Challenge accepted. Yeah.
So you help.
I'm gonna help 100 people with their dreams.
100 people.
All right. I love it.
Yeah. Even if you get 50%, what we get 25, me 25. We let them keep 50.
So we're gonna keep everyone updated on the channel on how many people that I help with their dreams. The goal right now is The first 100.
The first 100.
And then we'll go
right?
from there. Yes,
and
sir.
then those people, you interview them.
Yes.
Makes sense or no?
Makes a lot of sense.
You interview them on Capital Games Cast.
All right.
Obviously, what's their vision? What's, what they want to accomplish in the world? We help them.
Got it. Episode
Challenge,
6.
Challenge, man?
Challenge accepted.
Accepted?
All right, my brother.
All right, thank you.
Tell the people anything you want to tell them. You got to
obviously follow me Businessman Carlos on IG. Watch, the CMR Podcast Network YouTube channel. Very impactful. Some people's feelings are gonna get hurt, but the truth is gonna set you free. It might make those people in fear zone or comfort zone miserable. But I know people that are in growth mode, people that want to be living their dream zone, you get me, it's gonna make them happy, make them free, if it makes sense.
It does. Okay.
Simple. And we're just gonna keep creating content that impacts people.
Excellent.
Pay it forward.
Thank you, Carlos. And for everyone who's watching, thank you. If you found value out of this, give us a like, give us a share, subscribe. Also, if you're looking for me on social media, I'm on Sam the Investor. If you need real estate help, if you're somebody who's looking to get their first home, but you also want to become an investor, contact me on my Instagram, Sam the Realtor. I'll be happy to help. Hopefully I can help you meet your dreams, and you'll be one of the first 100 people who I help make their dream. Thank you, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.